Hello, my name is Lucia Chan. I graduated from the University of Edinburgh recently. During my PhD, my research focuses on using data from social media platforms to infer users' mental illness symptoms or dangerous behaviors. Recently, scientists developed algorithms to estimate people's mental health status using their social media records. Today, I will talk about my views on this technology. Now let's take a look at the procedures of building algorithms to predict mental health status. There are 3 steps. Step 1. We select a sample of participants who use social media platforms. Step 2. To know a participant's mental health status, we ask participants to fill out a measurement scale online, or we look at whether a social media user reviews their mental health status on their social media posts. Step 3. We train an algorithm that can predict a person's mental health status using their social media record as input. Given a new participant, we can use this algorithm to predict their mental health status. Now, after listening to the research procedures, do you have any concerns in mind? Ethical concerns. Do researchers obtain approval from participants before they collect their social media data? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. If participants were asked to fill out a scale, approval of data collection should be obtained. However, if a researcher collected a large sample of users who mentioned certain keywords in their social media text that may reflect their mental health status, in this case, approval from data collection was usually not obtained. Now, another major concern is, do social media users or clinicians want this mental health technology? According to a study that surveys people's attitude towards using their social media data to predict mental health status, people have a mixed attitude towards it. They have doubts about the prediction results. Are these results trustworthy? Let's take a look at a few concerns in here. We previously mentioned that the researchers often use self-reported measurement scale as a gold standard. Self-reported measurement scale is not a clinical report. A clinician evaluates people's mental health status using patient history, interview, and sometimes biological markers. A diagnostic result requires joint effort from the clinician and the patient. Nevertheless, the selected sample bias towards those who have a social media account and those who actively post status updates. How many of you have a social media account but only use it for browsing news and spying on your friend's life? People who browse only are usually removed from the sample because they do not have enough text data to be fed in the model. There is also age bias. Young people are more likely to have a social media account. Training datasets are too small in all the existing studies. Most of the studies contain a few hundred participants. These participants are not representative to the population. Bear in mind that the machine learning models are largely influenced by the data quality. Models trained on a small sample, even though these models have a 90% of accuracy, they can generate accurate prediction on a new case only if the new case shares the exact similar traits as the participant in the training sample. For example, most of the existing studies contain a sample mainly comprises of young, white, American female. A model trained with this sample is probably not working well on the participant with a different ethnicity. All these concerns explains why the potential users, whether they are clinicians or patients, have a mixed attitude towards an algorithmic approach to detect mental health status. Some people explain that they have a positive attitude towards mental health technologies using social media data, but not as in automatically diagnosing them. People would prefer technologies that help them in their therapy sessions. For example, using social media record to track their mood reminds them of some life events when they answer the therapy's questions. What should researchers do at this stage? We can study the needs of clinicians and patients. We can start building the most accurate prediction model. Instead, we should construct a system that meets the needs of the users. For example, device that track mood symptoms, device that detects live events from digital records, and device that can assist people in their therapy session, and many more. In my PhD thesis, I proposed techniques of monitoring mood patterns, cognitive distortions, suicidal behavioral signals using social media text. I would suggest researchers to consider these questions before they design a mental health technology. Is this what the user wants? Is the benefit more than the harm? Nowadays, machine learning has becoming a hammer in our hands. When we see a problem, our instinct is to build a classifier to make a prediction. In reality, what we need to think is how do we use all the existing tools, not just machine learning, to make a system that meets the user's needs.